Alright, so today's topic is oversaturated electroforming solution. Okay? So I see this a lot, especially on the Facebook forum, so I thought it would be an interesting video to cover. In this tank, you can see the solution is rather dark. I just mixed this up maybe yesterday. And in this tank, it's a lot lighter. Alright, so if you're using a recipe that has a lot of copper sulfate in it, and I use this recipe for this one, for 1 liter, copper sulfate 200 grams per liter, sulfuric acid, if you're using 95%, you use 30 milliliters. If you use 35%, you have 80 milliliters, and then muriatic acid 35, and you can use hydrochloric instead of muriatic because it's the same thing. Just so you can use this instead of muriatic acid, which is a lot cleaner. It doesn't have any of the minerals in it or impurities. Nice. Alright, so basically what happens is I need to get some of the copper out if I don't want it there. So you could have this extra copper in here, and what will happen is you'll get really cool texture, but some don't like that texture. My clients, they love the texture, so I'm gonna keep supporting it. So you can see the texture I speak of. It's like not annoying sharp, it's very dendrite driven, but it's still smooth. It just has bumps. So that's the type of texture I really am aiming for when it comes down to rings. I don't want sharp because then it takes forever to sand that stuff off. So this is a really good for that type of texture. It also helps to have a magnetic stirrer at the bottom. So I'll be covering a video on magnetic stirrers here probably in the next few days. I ordered a couple different plates and I wanted to kind of give a review on them. This one's a homemade one using a little fan. Cool. Not to stay off topic at all. So what I could do is to get rid of that amount of copper, I can unplug 2 of my anodes. So you can see I got 4, and I just unplug 2, and then I'll keep plating it out. It's called plating it out. And as I plate it out, it will slowly get to the point where it looks like this again. And then it will have no texture. Okay, so how do I reverse it? You know, like maybe I want texture. Well, I could do several things, sketchy ways to do it, but I could wait for the water to evaporate out and then add electroforming solution instead. I could take my anodes, and you can see my anodes in the back. They have this black substance on them. I could scrub that off, and that would draw more copper into the solution. If you see that black stuff on yours, don't remove it unless you want more copper in your tank and a mess in your tank. So you see how kind of nice and clean this tank is? That's because I have those at the correct chloride value. So this right here is for chloride. Alright, so what I'm going to do is probably plug my anodes back in. That way I don't lose this amount of copper in my solution. Another way I can get more copper in my solution is I could plate 1 ring and have all 4 anodes on there. And I think that's what happens to many people. They have a larger tank and they decide to do a ring, but they have all 4 anodes or something like that plugged in at the same time. This is a sure way to oversaturate your liquid. There's no doubt about it. So, let's recap. If I want to get rid of the copper and create a no texture environment, I would unplug a couple anodes and plate it out. If I want texture, I could wait for the water to evaporate and add this copper solution to the bath. I could scrub my anodes, which is messy. I don't want to do that. Or I could just plate one ring with all 4 anodes for a while, and that will super saturate it. Cool. So I think that covers it. I mean, that's all there is about saturation levels. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed the oversaturated copper issue that occurs with electroforming solution. Have fun.